In my mid-20s, I very nearly married the wrong person. I had years to think about how I could have been so wrong about someone and something that I was so sure was meant to be at the time. And for me, it boils down to the list I had in my head and that I had written down about the person I wanted to fall in love with. And that list focused completely on who I wanted him to be. And when I found him, I recognized it, I fell in love. And looking back, I don't like who I was in that relationship at all. I was more stressed out. I didn't have a lot of confidence, but he ticked all the boxes. He didn't have a temper. He wasn't a heavy drinker. Small town French boy. Everything I had pictured myself with. He was nice to me. He was romantic. But what I didn't realize and what I didn't put on my list was who I wanted to be with that person. And in that relationship, I was always stressed out because my dreams were bigger than his and I was more responsible. So I felt like I was always carrying the load to give us a better life. And I don't like who it turned me into at all. And I didn't notice it because we didn't really fight and our day-to-day life was good for the most part. But big picture, that wasn't who I wanted to be. So in my early 30s, I completely changed my list. It took me years of of dating to realize that my list needed to be all about me. And I wrote down that I wanted someone who made me feel inspired, who challenged me to be my best version of myself, who made me feel so comfortable that I acted the same way around him that I did around my friends, someone that didn't lie to me, and who made me feel like my dreams were actually even almost too small. So that was not an easy thing to find. And the man I'm in love with now absolutely would not have grabbed my attention if I hadn't have made that list. I friend zoned him. He was not my type. Something to think about too if you're always kind of dating the wrong men. Look at that and maybe you need to explore someone who isn't your type because you never know what it's going to grow into. I know for me, I had such a clear picture of who I wanted to be with, and every time I found it, it didn't work. So I needed to mold that, and the only way I could do that was by making a list of who I wanted to be. And anytime I was with someone, you might feel like you're in love, but it could be more lust because you could be jealous or feeling inadequate. If you're with someone that you have on this pedestal, it's going to make you always feel inadequate, and it's going to turn you into someone who's insecure. So just something to pay attention to. If you have a list of who you want to meet, I encourage you to throw it out and make your list about who you want to be with that person so that when it shows up on your doorstep, you recognize it and are open to it.